SmackDown was in Detroit, Michigan tonight, and you start to show off with Charlotte Flair coming to the ring, and she talks about how every time she stands in this ring, we're witnessing greatness, and most of us dream of greatness and strive and desire it. You don't have the genetics, the talent, or discipline to achieve it. You either quit, lie to yourself, or do something else, just like her opponent at SummerSlam. Trish is a 7-time champion who, when the industry changed, decides to do something different, which at the time was not true because the industry got really worse with the women's division. Once Trish left, and then Lita left a month after Trish in 2006, for a couple months, the division went to absolute hell for about 10 years. The division was the worst. It was the Divas division. It was, just Playboy every year, which was nothing wrong with that, but it was joke. It was Braun Perry's matches, evening gown matches, joke matches. The wrestling matches they had were horrible up until the women's revolution. 9 years actually later, it started to get better again, but for a while it was fucking abysmal. For about almost a decade, it sucked. And Charlotte says Trish was never as good as her, which was 100% true. I don't think Trish was that good, to be honest. I mean, she was really hot back then, and she was a star, but I don't think she's not a superstar that the company makes her out to be, really. Either her or Lita, they're not, they were definitely the top female stars, and they were stars, but I'm not calling them big draws or anything like that. And she says, Charlotte says she'll shatter her dreams in her home country. Then we see a video package of Charlotte, but it ends with, it switches with the Trish one, and Trish comes out. Trish says she wasn't what you were expecting. She says that you're not used to getting what she wanted. Trish goes after Charlotte. She says you might be the queen, but in the end you are not Trish Stratus. Charlotte tells Trish to welcome to her because this Sunday she's going to make you bow down to the queen. She does the boo and Trish slaps Charlotte. It was alright. It was a good segment. I mean, it's fine. This is a decent match to go with. Rey Mysterio's in the back as we go to commercial. We see a video package of when they announce Goldberg's and they get the match, and all of a sudden they go back to the arena and Goldberg's music hits, and instead it's Dolph Ziggler doing the Goldberg entrance. He mocks him. Dolph's is a complete geek. I wish he'd get cut. He faces Rey Mysterio, and it's too bad what they're doing at Rey. It's unfortunate. He just destroys Rey with a super kick, and then he sends him to the floor, and he enters the ring, and he cuts a promo. He says he's going to end the career of Goldberg. It's just a shitty promo. And then all of a sudden, instead of Rey being out, Mustafa Ali comes out, and he wrestles Ziggler. And they have a good match, but Ziggler wins with the super kick. I guess he's doing the super kick to mock Shawn Michaels, but he beats him with the super kick. He beats Ziggler. After the match, they had Tom Phillips mention exactly what happened to Roman Reigns backstage, and they're really building up to that. Dave Meltzer reported that it's going to be Daniel Bryan who attacked Roman Reigns. We will see. They show what happened to Seth Rollins, the beatdown from Brock Lesnar the last 2 weeks. They show Kayla Braxton with Roman Reigns backstage, and he comments earlier today. She thanks him, and he's asked who this is, and Roman is kind of being, I thought Roman was good in this interview with Kayla. He doesn't give her too much. He says he thinks he knows who it is, but he's not going to really say. And then he apologized to Samoa Joe for getting the wrong guy mixed up. And next we go backstage, Natalya walking, and they give us a good Harley Race video package, which was a good tribute to him. Rest in peace, Harley Race. Next we go to Natalya against Ember Moon. So this really isn't a match here. They battle to the outside quickly. Natalya beats down Ember. She puts her in a sharpshooter outside. She gets a double count out, and after the match she refuses to hold on, and Bayley has to come out because she wants Ember to be 100% for her match with her at SummerSlam. Bayley shoves Natalya off, and Natalya shoves down Bayley, and they look back at each other, and Bayley tries to get Ember up, but there's still tension there. Doesn't want any hope from her, and sets up the show. They show Kevin Owens walking to the back. He is doing the Kevin Owens show, and this was probably the best part of the show. He says this is a normal Kevin Owens show. He wants Shane to come out. Shane finally comes out, And what he says to Shane is, as Greg Hamilton was going to introduce Shane, Kevin Owens grabs the mic. He says he laid out his challenge to SummerSlam. Why don't you put your career on the line? Why don't you have a career-ending match like me so the loser has to retire? He wants him to put his career on the line. If Shane wins, KO is gone. But if Shane loses, everyone gets what they want because Shane's gone, which is what everyone wants. Shane thinks, and he ponders it. He says it'll be a no. He says Kevin's ego is what got him in this mess. You threw out the stipulation for match. You remind Kevin of all the ways that Kevin can lose. He says there is no shame in losing to the best in the world. Shane says you can lose to the old-fashioned way by pinning you in the center ring. He could slap you in a triangle choke, and you can tap out. You could be counted out. Shane says he is in Kevin's head and can freak out at some point. You hit him with something with Kevin disqualified, your career will be over, and we will get rid of you. Kevin wants to make sure Shane is saying, he says, after all those years, you're doing all those death-defying acts, you have shown you don't have any balls. Then he drops the mic, and Shane says he has those and he has brains. So maybe if the professional wrestling doctrine has fallen apart, why can't we have a prelude for Sunday? Kevin sends a trap and attacks Elias when Elias enters the ring, and then Kevin sends Elias to the floor, and then what happens is they go to the announce table. He beats him down. He hits him with a stunner on the announce table, but then Shane sweeps the announce table. He throws Kevin off the announce table onto the place where the announcers are, and Shane tips over the announcer's table onto Kevin. Then he grabs a chair and he puts the announce table is still holding Kevin back, so the chair's his head is exposed, and he takes a chair, puts above Kevin's head, and Shane jumps up, hits a dropkick onto the chair, onto Kevin Owens, smashing him, and leaves him out laying. This was a really good segment in my opinion. This was definitely one of the better parts, and hopefully Kevin wins. We are back, and Sami Zayn's in the ring, and he offers Aleister Black a gift, and all of a sudden, Black's music interrupts, and he says, this will not happen at SummerSlam match, it's going to happen now. So I guess the match is off. It's not a match at SummerSlam. I guess they're just going to do it now. I think they ran out of time. They probably timed, you know what happened? I bet they timed the SummerSlam show, and they realized this couldn't get enough time here. So they went with this. It was practically decisive win for Aleister Black. Pins Sami Zayn cleanly. Black mask, 1, 2, 3, and Black with the victory, and hopefully gets a bigger push. Shelton's in the back, and he's asked if he's in the challenge for the title, and he walks away. I think it was one of the ladies, Sarah, Screamer, Kayla, one of them interviewed him. They show Big E just pouring water all over himself. Then we come back, and it's a Firefly Funhouse. It was okay. It was alright with Bray. I mean, they do the whole thing with the Fiend. I guess he's the Fiend now. It's an alter ego. I guess Bray Wyatt is regular Bray Wyatt. I guess the Funhouse Bray Wyatt. And then you have the Fiend as like the demon. It's like Finn Balor, and then you have the demon. Here, I don't think you're going to get a demon. I think you're just going to get the Fiend beating regular Finn Balor. But I think, as I said, they're not going to do this. The Fiend should beat Finn Balor to get it over really big. They want to go push Bray all the way. They show Chad Gable in the back, and he interacts with Elias. They show a segment with Kofi Kingston and Randy Orton. It was alright. They show stuff that happened in 2009. It was a pretty good segment. Pretty good, hype-up video. I like how they connect it back. I like how they kind of go back to the stupid. That was funny. So, main event, you have Big E and Xavier against Daniel Bryan and Rowan. So this whole thing is mostly built up to this Roman Reigns whodunit storyline. It's like a JR who shot JR. So what happens is at the end of the match, it's a DQ win for the New Day because Rowan destroys Woods with stairs, and they lay him out, and then he hits Big E with the stairs, and Bryan beats down Woods, and then they show Roman Reigns backstage. It cut to him, and he's sitting in front of Buddy Murphy. He's trying to get Buddy Murphy to tell him what he knows. Buddy Murphy says he doesn't know, and then Roman attacks him. He beats him up. He says, tell me what you know. He throws him around the room, which was funny. He throws him onto a table, throws him onto chairs, and Buddy Murphy won't tell him. And finally, Roman gets him pushes him back to the wall and says, who did it? And Buddy says, it was Rowan who did it. And then Roman looked shocked. Rowan? But Buddy says he did not see Daniel Bryan. And then Roman is surprised. It's Eric Rowan. It's Rowan who did it. It wasn't Daniel Bryan. He didn't see him. And then the show ends and we go back to the ring with Daniel Bryan and Rowan in the ring looking shocked. So maybe it's Roman Reigns and Rowan at SummerSlam and they build up to Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns would be a good match to save later down the road. But that's definitely a good program to have. And that was the end of SmackDown. It's the go-home show for SummerSlam. From Detroit, decent show. And SummerSlam this Sunday. Hopefully we get a great show.